Hello everyone and welcome back to my true crime channel. Today I want to talk about Brian the Dirty Laundrie and a trilogy of books by an author called J. Royal Hornton. Now this particular author wrote 3 books and the titles of the books I find particularly chilling. The titles were Murder in Moab, Murder in the Tetons and Murder in Jackson Hole. Now, the reason I find this disturbing is because, as we know, Gabby was found murdered in the Tetons. Crystal and Kylan were also found murdered in Moab. Now, it has been ruled that Robert Lowry took his own life. I'm not sure if that's definitely true. It could be, but could it be that it was covered up and that it was actually a murder and it was made to look like Robert took his own life? Now, obviously, I could be wrong about that, but what's weird is one of the last places that Robert was ever seen before he went missing and was subsequently found deceased was Jackson Hole. Now I find that really spine-chilling, I find it really disturbing, and I find it really concerning, especially as we know that Brian liked to read very scary books, quite dark and twisted books such as Lullaby. He was very much into the author of Fight Club, and he really liked reading quite horrible, twisted books. Now this has really got me wondering, was Brian inspired to murder because of these books? Is that why Gabby was killed in the Tetons? Could it be that Robert didn't take his own life and that it was actually a murder covered up to make it look like the man had tragically took his own life? And were Kylan and Crystal murdered by Brian? Now, as you probably know if you're already subscribed to my channel and you've already watched my videos before, I have wondered for quite a while now, could Brian the Dirty Laundrie be a serial killer? And I have made another video about that already. But I do wonder, was Gabby the first person that Brian murdered, or have there been many others? Now it's a real scary thought to think that there could have been others. How many could there be? Did he murder Kylan and Crystal? Could it be that the coroner has got the cause of death wrong for Robert? Obviously, I don't know, guys. I'm just speculating. If it can be proved that a different gun was used in the murders of Kylan and Crystal to that in Robert's case, then perhaps Brian the Dirty Laundrie is not involved. But I still have my suspicions that he could be. Now, I've got to be honest with you guys. I find it really weird that there are a trilogy of books called Murder in Moab, Murder in the Tetons and Murder in Jackson Hole. But what I find really weird and eerie is that we all know that Brian, the Dirty Laundrie, visited all of those places, the Tetons, Moab and Jackson Hole. Isn't even Jackson Hole the place where they have the row in the restaurant? This is just too weird for me. It gives me the chills just talking and thinking about it.
So I just wanted to give a brief overview of what the 3 books are about. Clearly from the titles of the books, it's quite obvious they're about murders, but I just wanted to give you a little bit more info about what the book storylines are. So the first book in this trilogy is Murder in Jackson Hole. It's a book about a detective called Tom Thompson of the Teton County Sheriff's Office. The story is based in Wyoming and clearly involves murder. Tom Thompson is a recently sober small-town cop. He's the man that killers fear the most. He's an armed cop who's not afraid to die. So the second book in this trilogy is Murder in the Tetons. And Tom in this novel is investigating the ritual murder and a ceremonial burial of a famous anthropologist in a Teton mountain cave. The book also talks about hallucinogens, sacrificial rituals, and mysterious cloud people, whatever they are. I find it really interesting that that particular book mentions ritual deaths and ceremonial burials. How bizarre. I really do wonder, has Brian read these books? So the third book in the trilogy is Murder in Moab. Again, the story surrounds Detective Tom Thompson. So in this third and final instalment of the trilogy, Detective Tommy Thompson is in Moab. In Moab, he comes across snake handlers, lesbians, and a very unorthodox rabbi teacher. Now, considering that Kristen and Kylan were a couple and they were murdered in Moab, I really hope Brian didn't read this book and get inspired to murder them. I've got to say, I am starting to suspect that Brian is involved in these 2 ladies' murders, because it seems pretty obvious that Brian murdered Gabby in the Tetons. Who did he murder in Jackson Hole, and who did he murder in Moab?
So guys, what do you think? Have you heard of this trilogy of books? I have looked into what they're about. Obviously they're about murders, but I do find it very bizarre, the titles, considering we know Brian was into these dark books. Could it be that Brian has read these novels, and did they inspire him to carry out murders in all of those locations? So guys, please share your thoughts with me. Pop your comments below. Have you heard of these books? Do you think Brian could have been inspired to kill because of the books? Do you think Brian has killed more people than just poor Gabby? Because I do. Now, I really hope I'm wrong. I hope Brian hasn't murdered others. I hope there aren't other victims out there that we haven't heard of. But what I do hope and what I do pray is that that idiot is caught soon. He is disgusting. He's a disgrace. He's just awful. His whole family are a disgrace. And the sooner that that idiot hands himself into the FBI, the better. I mean, his dad apparently being out with the FBI looking for his son really seemed like a bit of a publicity stunt to me. And seeing his dad laughing really, really pissed me off. So as you know, like you guys, I want that dirty laundry to be caught. The sooner this shit show is over, the better. That idiot really needs to be caught, and I hope it's by the dog. And as I said in another one of my videos, I hope the dog kicks his ass. I'm sure he won't. That's not really what he does when he catches people, but the sooner that Brian gets to kick up his ass, the better. Well, anyway, guys, I just wanted to discuss this with you. I am going to be looking into buying these books. I'm going to be reading them. I have already read some extracts from them, and what I read was extremely disturbing. Look into all three books, get an overview of what they're about, because I have. They're about murders in all of those locations, and as we know, Brian, the Dirty Laundrie, recently visited all three, and weirdly, people keep turning up dead where Brian, the Dirty Laundrie, has been. Well, anyway, guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much and a big thumbs up to all my new subscribers and members. I really appreciate you guys. I'm so grateful for your support, and you really do help my channel by subscribing or becoming a member. If you've enjoyed my video today and you're not already subscribed, please hit that button, hit the notification bell so you know when my next video is out, and if you could give my video the big thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. Well, as always, guys, I hope you're all well. I hope you're taking care of one another. And as always, I'm going to be back with you all very soon for another true crime video. Bye for now.